Hi guys, it's Sharon White from Copycat Cards again. I would like to do a different project today to make a video tutorial, and this time I'm going to watercolor using some inexpensive watercolors that I bought from Amazon some time ago. I think they're made in China. I know that's not good, but that's where they were, and that's where they were made, and that's where I got them from Amazon. I think they were like 10 bucks. So anyway, I'm going to paint with those, and I have this awesome coloring book that I saw online and decided that I liked it because every page is heavy watercolor paper, and it has all kinds of very cool designs, which I think will be a lot of fun. So I'll quickly flip through. Oh my, some cactus. That's different. Okay. So, you know, some of these I'm not so much into. The you know, geometric things I'm not so much into. I don't know what I would do something like that. If I don't paint that, I'll use the back of the paper. Yeah, so anyway, some fun zebras, some trees, pineapples. Okay, so I was a little disappointed when I received this to see there were so many pages that were kind of odd. I mainly bought it because I loved this one. And this is what I'm going to work on today. So I will set the main coloring book aside. I have my tin of random watercolor brushes and some other brushes and my water. I'm going to check the orientation. Open up my inks, my paints, and I'm just going to sit down and play. So before I go too far, I'm going to expand this a little bit and hope that I keep it in the frame so that you guys can always see what I'm doing. My video from yesterday is still loading, and I did watch it all. There is music on it from Pandora. I don't know if that will cause a problem or not, but we shall see. Today's video will be with no music. I'm going to start by I'm going to start with water. And as I usually do, I'm going to start with my background. And the way I will do this is to lay in a fairly good amount of water, section at a time. And I have no idea of what colors I'm going to use. I do love dark backgrounds. I have made one recently though. I did see a real pretty background recently that somebody made with kind of a reddish pink. So I guess I'll do that because I liked the look of it. Oh, I need to, I saw this, somebody suggested this, and I thought, well, that's smart. You know, I'm always dipping my paintbrush into the water bottle, you know, 25 times to wet each little color, and look what you can do. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to start with this kind of rusty red, and I'm just going to drop it in to this water that I laid down. What I'm going to also do is pick up a dry paintbrush and use it to remove excess water and excess color. I have my cloth right here. All right. So more water. Lots of it in this section. And it's pretty cool to just touch your brush to the water. Make sure your brush is loaded with paint, and to see the water just moves it around. I love that. Gonna lift this off the black line. Okay. This is a spot. I hope you can see I'm working down at the bottom of this very large page. Take a peek. Nope, you can't see. Okay. All right, here's a big section. I'm adding a lot of water. I'm trying not to let the water go on top of the drawing, because then the ink will, the paint will go on there too. But it's a little bit difficult. And I'm just using the one color. It's kind of this deep rusty red. And I'm really just letting the water move the color. I'm not trying to control it very much. Okay, I'm going to use this drier paintbrush to lift up these bits of paint. Gonna add some water here, a little paint, lift a little of that off. That. Okay, now I'm going to turn this around. Okay. And do the rest. I think because the style of this art is very loose and kind of organic in its nature, I'm going to let my painting be very loose and a little bit messy as well. I have no idea how this will turn out. I think this may be the first one of these that I've painted from this book. No water got there. Okay, I'm going to spin this around again, making sure that I'm still in the camera's view. I'm going to add water to this final corner. let's see, I think it was Linda Gorun who asked me recently about, do I tap my brush onto a paper towel or something to get rid of excess water before I put it to paper? And I had said I don't usually. I usually like to use all the water and then I'll blot any excess. Sorry if my head just got in the way. And I said also to her that you just have to make sure you have enough, I always make sure I have enough ink or paint to compensate for all that water I use. Okay. Well, this is pretty wet because I did use so much water, so I'm going to use my heat tool to dry it a little bit, and that will also make the ripples of the paper go down. And I'm blotting some of the excess water off the edges so it doesn't take so long to dry. Okay, so with this red background, I think that I'm going to make my blossoms very like a lot of yellow, a lot of mustardy, golden yellow. But I might end up using a lot of colors in them. That's another thing that Alex Siberia does in so many of her floral cards, is she just like uses a ton of colors in her flowers, and they look amazing. And I love the look of that. And I haven't really tried it yet, so maybe I'll try it on these great big giant flowers. I don't know though, we'll see. Most of the time I don't really have a plan, I just sit down and start doing something. Alright, so here's a couple little pockets of wetness that I don't want to wait to dry, so I'm going to hit it with a paper towel, and then I don't have to wait any longer and you don't have to listen to the heat tool. Okay, so that's good. Let's just jump right in here. Get some of my brushes out. And my water is kind of tinted a pinky red, but I don't care about that. It doesn't matter. And I need to re-moisten these. And I need to remember that you can only, so like the bottom 2 inches of this doesn't show. All right, I think I will start with my leaves first. And again, a lot of water. And I'll start with, ooh, I don't like that. I really don't like jade greens. I love olive green tones. I'm just dabbing that on there. I'm going to let that dry. Might be using too much water. I'm putting the dark paint down at the inner tips of the things. This is running a little bit, so we'll catch it. I'm just going to let those be. Work on some other leaves. Did I already put water up there? No, I don't think I had. The other thing I've said before in blog posts or videos is that I tend to be a little heavy-handed with color. I guess that's not a bad thing. I see a couple spots that I missed with the red paint, but I'll get that later. So for those of you who, are a little bit intimidated by watercoloring, please know that I am no expert. I am just playing with water and paint. I don't know the proper way to do this. Oh, look at this color. Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. Oh, I need to be careful though. With the paper warped like this, the paint will run. Oh man, that's one of my favorite colors. Now I think that it's might be that way because I had put some yellow on top of that, because that's supposed to be like a lighter olive. Darn it, look at this. No, no, no. That is very mustardy. Isn't that interesting? Look at this on my palette. Now, does that look like that would be a mustard? Doesn't that look like it's just, a lighter shade of an olive? Interesting. Whoops, I don't think I'd put water in that one. I'm going to add a little of that darker green to these, just because. All right, so that's a leaf, that's a leaf, that's a leaf, that's a leaf, 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 leaf. I think those are petals, just, yeah. I'm going to try not to let this video be too long. All right, let's get some more of this awesome color. Love that. See how loosely I'm doing it? So gorgeous. I mean this color, not my painting. My painting's not gorgeous. Okay, so I think that's good for the leaves for now. I might mess around and do something with them later. So let me just hit this again with some warm air. So now that we have all of that, you know, deep, dark, golden yellow in the leaves, and I was going to kind of do those shades for the flowers. I can't do red flowers. I don't want to do blue flowers. I guess I'm still going to do, you know, yellows. All right, I'm going to let that air dry while I work on the centers. So I'm going to start with this kind of basic yellow. I'm going to just put that around. Whoops, I forgot to put water. Water, water, water. Water. And I don't like how yellowy that is, so I'm actually going to add some of this. Okay. Oh, keep forgetting. Water. Water first. Water, water, water. I'm putting water where my darkest colors would be, because I'm going to lay in the shadows first. There, 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 a little there. And I'm going to use some of that we used on the leaves. I'm going to let that water just carry that. And add a little brown. Whoops. Oh, this might be a little too much. Whatever. It's okay. There's some orange. Throw in some pink. So when the pink and orange kind of mix, they become a coral. I'm going to throw in some of this darker. See, I'm just being random. I don't know about this. Maybe I should have stuck to conventional, because now it's similar to the background. But I can always change out the background. All right, let's come in over here with this darker red. Oh, I keep forgetting to add my water. I'm just gonna coat this whole thing with water and see what happens. All right. And I have this red. Well, that's kind of cool. Oh boy. And some of this darker orange with lots of water. And I'm going to add some of that red over here. With some more water. Holy cow. Yeah, no. Okay. I'm now going to use a lighter brown to fill in here. Tone that down. And here as well. Okay. And then I'm going to, I'm going to use a paintbrush to pull up, kind of a dryish paintbrush to pull up some of that excess. Okay. And a little bit of air. This needs a little more of a yellow over here. Use my paper towel to lift up some of the excess water so that we don't have to wait for it to dry. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is use some of my darkest brown to kind of do these little blobby things in the center. Kind of loosely following the ones that are there. Okay, so we're going to leave that alone. And now, as much as I like my red background, and I hate to do it all over again, I feel like it needs to be darker now. So I'm going to get a bigger brush. And let's see, on top of red, what can I add to red to make it darker? Like if I added blue, that would make it purple. I don't think I want purple. Or do I? You know what? Let's try it. And this may be completely ruined. I don't know. It's not really looking purple. It just looks like a boring blue. add a little this teal to it. Yeah. Well, I'm not loving this, and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, this video is not going to show up anywhere, but really, you know, why not? We'll see what it looks like when I'm done, and it may be better than I think it'll be, and even if it isn't, maybe you'll enjoy looking at it anyway. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to turn it around, add some water over here, add some water to my paints. There's that spot that never got the blue or the red. Look what I'm going to do. See what this does. Use my cloth to lift off some of the paint. The texture of the paper is already showing. That leaves a little more texture. Whoops, that bled into my blossom. I don't want that. That's bleeding too. Oh my goodness. Can't decide if I like it better with the water added first or not. The water definitely makes the blue go on in a more opaque manner to the red than without it. I do kind of like this blue over the red. I like that you can see kind of a rosy tint below. I don't know what that is there, but Okay. It definitely lifts off some of the blue. My water is brown, but that's okay too. Let's add a little pop of a brighter green, but I don't like that quite like that. So let's add a little of this. And I don't really want it quite like that. I just want dabs of it. So I'm gonna just like brush a little bit on and then wipe it off. Oops. Drat. Okay. I'm gonna use a little bit of water to soften these little doodads in the center. Now, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try and do, I don't know if this will work. I kind of mixed up a color over here on the side of my glass mat to kind of mimic some shadows. I don't know, it might be a moot point on this type of a painting. I feel like I'm just messing around here. Definitely no skill here, but it looks cool. Okay, now I'm going to dry it again. And I'm going to add just a little swipe of this kind of light brown here and there on my leaves to tone them down. I'm going to move my water. I'm going to put my paints on this side and check where this is. So that's kind of cool. Certainly not what I anticipated. As I was saying, I was using a little of this brown. Just to swipe onto the leaves, tone them down a little bit, and I'm really just like swiping it on. I'm not being careful about keeping it just on the leaves. Just want them toned down. Okay. Now this might be too much, but I'm gonna add a little yellow to this. I don't know if it'll make any difference. Let's turn that off. And I'm just gonna kind of spatter that. I'm just playing. I want to see what this does. I feel like it's such a hot mess already that whatever I do isn't going to ruin it anymore. I don't know if you can see. Okay, well that's enough for weirdness. And actually, I'm going to smooth that out a little bit. Just adding water. See, I don't like how it's splotchy. Sometimes with my crafting and painting and artwork, I feel like I'm jack of all trades, master of none. Because I do like doing different things, but I'm not really good at, well, I mean, I am good at some things, but I'm not really, like, I just dabble in a lot of stuff. And, you know, my cards are copycat cards because I really am good at copying things. Okay, well that's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. And actually I like how it's darker up here than it is down there, so I should leave well enough alone. But I'm just going to add a little more dark blue up here to keep that dark thing going. All right, good enough. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave the blossoms as they are. I think this goes like this. Now I'm adding a little teeny bit of red. See what I mean? I like can't stop. But I feel like let's flip this puppy over. Flatten it out a little bit. All right, now I'm going to whoops. See what this does. And a little white craft paint. Right in my lid. Well, I'll do a little here. Add some water. Before I do that, I don't have a clean paper towel right here, so I'm just going to use this to lift off those droplets of water. Hit it one more time. Now here's a thought. What do you think about me either using a thin brush, probably a thin brush, and going over the black lines with black paint to make them stand out more, because they got pretty covered up with the watercolors. Well, I may or may not do that, but here it is. I think it's kind of cool. Certainly not what I anticipated it would be. It doesn't look anything like this beautifully, daintily colored, painted cover. But that's because I'm Sharon White and I do stuff like this. So I hope you enjoyed the process. I hope that you feel free to get your paints out and just get messy and do random unexpected things and see what happens. Thanks for watching again.